talk a little bit more about the influence that Puff had on not just on you guys, but just his whole vision for R&B at that time.
Oh yeah. So the best thing, you know, first of all, anybody knows Puff, he's a visionary. Mm-hmm. So he kind of already sees you who you are before you're already there. Mm-hmm. And then he's trying to make sure that you're getting there. Now, the best move that he did, what makes him more of a genius, is the fact that he allowed us to be ourselves. Mm-hmm. So he didn't bother us. Mm. When we were doing the music and stuff like that, he would come in splashes and make sure that we were still doing what we're doing. Mm-hmm. But, you know, for the most part, he saw that, you know, he knew who we were signing. Yeah. He knew that the artist that he had, you didn't have to babysit them. We were writing and producing our own records. Right. You know what I'm saying? So it was, and then the bigger fact of us being who we are, and then it was a big family. Mm-hmm. So we were always around Faith all the time. You know what I'm saying? And Big, you know, we were always around them. Yeah. And musically, Faith, while she was doing her album, we were there.
Can we talk? Oh, can we talk? Can we talk? R&B.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Ian Vaughn, and we're here for another episode of the Can We Talk R&B podcast. And I am like, y'all hear me say I'm excited a lot because, look, I had the idea to do this show, to do just what we're doing today. I have one of my favorites, period. Like, this is no question one of my favorites. And if you guys have ever seen me perform, you know I cover some of their records, like one of the best R&B songs, I believe, probably in the last, you know, in my lifetime, I'm gonna put it like this, is the song Cupid, because it's just a classic R&B song. I have one of the, man, this dude is so special to me. Slim from 112 in the building today. Oh, man. Big brother. Man. Thank you for showing up.
Oh, man. Hey, thanks for having me. You know, right up here at the top part of my neighborhood.
Yeah.
I'm from Cleveland Avenue. So.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Yeah. So this is kind of fly.
Look, we're in the ATL. Look, listen, man. I'm just, I guess I get lost for words because I've been studying you guys. I mean, I swear since 95, 96, right? Like, so since the very, very beginning, big fan of you guys. I look at R&B music across the board and I'm thinking about the impactful groups of R&B, you know, in my lifetime. Of course, we go from, you know, the most impactful, we go from New Edition, you know, go to Boyz II Men, we go to Jodeci. And then right after that there's a number of other dope groups, but you guys, 112 falls right in line in that category of some of the most all-time iconic R&B groups in history. Man, like, let's take me on a journey. Let's talk about your career from the very beginning, how you guys started, all the things you've been doing since then, and you know, I guess you guys are still touring, obviously.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So just let's talk about it.
Okay, well, you know, for those, you know, who don't know anything about 112, try to make it, you know. Yeah. We're really from around this area here. ATL. This is ATL, yeah. South part of here, Cleveland Avenue. Okay. We started humbly, you know, in our neighborhood, singing for whoever wanted to hear amazing music, right? Sure. We were raised in the gospel. We were raised in church. So, you know, we looked at groups like Commission and Winans, yes. You know what I'm saying, Take Six. Sure. And we actually would take their songs and literally win all our talent shows where everybody was singing like secular songs.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely.
So, I mean, it went from there. Of course, before we named ourselves 112, we were called Forte. Okay. So, of course, there was different faces, but same principles. Sure. You know what I'm saying? So, at the time, you know, then, you know, ran into the people that knew Diddy.
Hold on, we ain't getting that far that quick. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
Look, you were Forte, you guys singing these gospel songs. I remember you guys used to sing Cry On.
Yes.
This is our Commission.
That was one of them, yes.
Cry on, gotta understand your tears. This, like, I'm a Mitchell Jones, like, nice. You know, these guys I'm a student of Fred and Mitchell and all these cats. Yeah. So I remember you guys used to sing those records back in the day, and I know, obviously, we know you guys from Bad Boy. Right. That's how you guys were introduced to the world. But what led to that? Like, how'd you guys get to even getting into business like that? Like, I mean, just winning talent shows.
Yeah, start winning talent shows, singing in churches, and you know, we ran into a particular person that knew like Dallas Austin, right?
Okay.
So at the time, you know,
Dallas was the man.
Dallas is definitely the man.
Yeah,
Still is.
It still is, for sure.
He's, you know, at the time, you know, Atlanta wasn't the music mecca it is now.
Sure.
So, you know, you had certain places you go. You know, of course, it was like Jermaine Dupri, So Def.
Mm-hmm.
You had certain people. You had like Dallas Austin, you know, and then as time went on, here come LaFace.
Right.
You know, so we were originally trying to sign with Dallas Austin.
Okay.
He was really cool with the producers y'all know as Tim and Bob. You know what I'm saying? So we're all young, you know what I mean? So Tim and Bob pretty much let us come and, you know, kick it with them. And at the time, they were working on Boyz II Men, you know what I'm saying, projects, stuff like that. I think they were working on too. And we were like honing our skills. And at the same time, we had to learn the difference between singing live and then singing in the studio,
Two
right?
different things.
So start learning how to record. Tim and Bob definitely was honing our skills and, you know, to hear like the notes and how to record them. So they, you know, like the tones and stuff, like there's a difference between the tones of the tonality of the backgrounds versus the leads, right? Mm-hmm. So start doing that, start getting pretty cool at it. And then, of course, Dallas was working with so many people. It was like we were running into like it was nothing to see Madonna come through.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And he was working with Eric Clapton.
Wow.
Of course, with the producers he had with Boyz II Men and everybody was coming in. So it was just like he had a lot of people coming in.
Right.
Not to mention that, you know, Rowdy Records was popping too.
That's right.
So our sister, we knew Monica. She was like 12 years old. You know what I'm saying? She had the glasses, the braces. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know, they were working on her project. So he kind of he kept it 1,000 with us. He was like, "Look, I want to sign you all, you know, but it's probably going to take me a year to get through all of these projects successfully before I get to you all."
Wow.
So we were like, you know what, we had to make a decision, you know, see how we're going to do this. And at the time, somebody we knew was very cool with Puff. Mm-hmm. At the time, Bad Boy didn't exist.
That's right.
He was putting it together. Mm-hmm. So we did this record that Dallas Austin had wrote called Never Fall in Love Again.
Okay.
Beautiful, beautiful record. And recorded it. And I guess he was with Puff at the time. Played it. Puff was like, "Yo, they sound like this? Like in person? Like live?"
Yeah.
So he was like, "There's only one way to find out, right?"
Yeah.
So being that we were, I'd say talent show, like kind of raised
y'all
bred.
professional,
you know what I'm saying?
professionals.
So, you know, like
just
we were
performing
kids, we were
talent
like,
show.
yeah, so, you know, you have to sound good all the time, every time, let's go, you know what I mean? So drove us up there to the parking lot of 112, and man,
Of the club.
We have the club.
Yeah.
Now we were nowhere close to being old enough to go inside.
Sure.
But we were still in high school.
Yeah.
But went up there, sang everything we knew, probably every commission song, every Boyz II Men, Take Six. And I remember how Puff, he said, "I think at this point, if y'all sing ABCs, it's gonna sound good."
Absolutely.
So yeah.
So y'all can sing the phone book. It don't even matter.
Oh man, it didn't matter. I mean, if it had chords and you know what I'm saying, like we would put it together. Like, let's go.
That's one thing about you guys that I always found special. I mean, obviously, again, there's so many dynamic groups, but you guys had, again, some of the formula of the guys that I loved, like Commission, like Take Six, Boyz II Men. Mm-hmm. But you also had this other little thing. I don't even know how to define it.
Yeah.
But you had another thing that we as R&B fans loved. You know what I'm saying? You guys were young, you guys were fresh.
Right.
It was polished and buttoned up, but it didn't feel as I guess structured at first as Boyz II Men.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, you know, that I think that had a lot to do with how we were raised. Mm-hmm. So like I said, you know, we're from the same neighborhood as Young Thug. Mm-hmm. a lot of hip hop artists.
Yeah.
And if you know that, you know, we have a sense of having a raw like a raw talent to us, you know, and it just has to be honed.
Yeah.
So we were trying to figure out who was 112, like who's 112, and how we can be the best 112 we can be, right?
Right.
So being that we were blessed to be able to, you know, sign in with Bad Boy, and then Puff introducing us to like East Coast sounds, beats, you know. So, you know, everybody has some form of structure. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you go to the West Coast, you'd have a funk sound, right?
That's right.
East Coast had like this real edge, street East Coast edge, you know. Even in the South, it's very soulful.
Sure.
And you know what I'm saying? And then the beats are very melodic. You know what I'm saying? We knew that when Silk came out.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? You can literally hear it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
They mastered in their ballads.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So we were trying to figure out who we were, and Puff basically started playing us beats, like, you know, 80s beats and stuff like that. So we go to the Hit Factory at first, and then he created Daddy's House, where producers would go inside of there and they would just bang out. They're playing samples, running wild, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I would be the student of this listening, just listening to the sounds and just like, wow. Okay, so how can we take these soulful, relatable words and put it to these type of beats? And then you have to have an edge too. So like us being from the hood, you know, we're not gonna come off like this.
That's right.
Because we're not that.
Yes, right.
We're what's up?
Absolutely. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the words and the language, it had to be a certain kind of a way. Even though there was just the certain polished things that we loved about, even with secular groups like a Boyz II Men or a New Edition. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it just like, so put those all together, here we go.
Gotcha.
There's 112, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah. So I'm listening to that and I'm like, I'm picturing all of this. I'm like, I grew up similarly, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, it's a certain thing. Then being a church boy, so you know how to button up.
Yeah.
But you also, you know, you urban, you street, you
Yeah.
casual.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I think about like Puff's influence. I mean, his not just influence, but him kind of helping curate what you guys were doing.
Yep.
He was instrumental with Jodeci.
Right, exactly.
And Jodeci and Boyz II Men, they come out, and these are like, when I think about it, like they're like the two standards.
Yes, they were.
Right?
Right.
And then two totally different styles, but the standards of what was going on.
Yes.
And then you had groups like you guys, and of course others that came after or simultaneously. That was all essentially coming from the tree of these groups.
Right.
And I felt like 112, although I would say comes more from the tree of Boyz II Men, I could still feel that freeness that Jodeci gave as
And
well.
it was all of it. It was
Yeah.
all the above. You know what I'm saying? So you're thinking like what the culture that Bad Boy brought to the music industry.
Right.
So with us, you know, we knew it wasn't just the music. It was like the way we dressed, the way we spoke. You know what I mean? It was a lifestyle.
Right.
One thing Puff used to always tell us, like, you know, you can say something, but one thing we're not going to do here at Bad Boy, we're not going to beg, we're not going to get on bended knee. You know what I'm saying? You know, you're going to give, you know, now with 112, you know, we definitely highlight, you know, you highlight situations that happens in everybody's lives, but
Sure.
we were always offering the solution. So, you know what I'm saying? That was kind of like our equation to say.
Now I know y'all catalog like crazy.
Yeah.
I'd never the way you just explained that, I'd never put that together like that.
Yeah.
I like that. Okay.
Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially, you know, like how I was writing, you know what I'm saying? Like my contribution to writing, you know what I'm saying? Like I just did not want us homies being in a ride and you sitting with your girl and when she loves 112, she plays the record and you're getting in trouble. If anything, you know what I'm saying? Like, I know a lot of people used to say, man, they really just got an ear to what the women feel.
Yeah.
Yes. But it was also us players like us.
That's right.
Where, you know, we don't do too much talking. And, you know what I'm saying? It's like, hey, I want to put this record in. This might be a situation that's going on.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm going to hit this record. Then you kind of look at it.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's how it is.
Yeah, the answers was given in the music. You know what I mean? Got you. You guys' first single was, correct me if I'm wrong, was Only You.
Yep, Only You.
I remember this, 96.
Yep.
I'm a junior in high school.
Crazy.
So I just remember seeing you guys, and I was in a singing group at that time.
Okay.
And everybody like they compared us like you guys look like 112, right? We tall, skinny guys, you know. So you guys are tall, long,
No
skinny, and you guys had the little Caesar cuts, and y'all just you know, killing these records, right? Killing this joint. Biggie comes on it, Mace come on it, and it's just like the biggest record, at least
it's crazy. It was
in the world. Like it felt like that to us.
It was.
I have conversations like with my producer. She's from New York. I'm from the South. And we just had different experiences in terms of what impacted what, you know what I mean, at certain times in our lives. And being that you guys were from the South, and now you guys we're Bad Boy with this New York connection.
And completely taking over there too.
So you guys.
Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Where you're from the South and you're the #1 group here.
That's right.
And then go right to the East Coast and then run that whole situation
That's right.
too. That was crazy.
What was that like coming from, I'm from Atlanta, I'm from East Point, I'm from, you know what I mean, I'm from Cleveland Street, Cleveland Drive.
Yeah, Cleveland Avenue.
And Cleveland Avenue. And all of a sudden, my dreams coming true. We got the #1 record. Like, I'm with Biggie, Mace. Like, what does that feel like, man?
Amazing, because, unlike the other guys in the group, I was the more nerd of the group. So here we go. A lot of a wow situation pops off. When we were so you're in a group, everybody plays their position, right? Yeah. So when we started, you start with the idea of we concentrate on backgrounds, and then from the backgrounds, who are you individually as a as a person? So Puff definitely did something that was very, very genius like. So he basically had a meeting with us and said, hey, look, okay, you got 4 lead singers in the group, right? Here's the catch. In a group, you have to say what makes you stand out from the next group. You can't be Boyz II Men because Boyz II Men exists.
Right.
Definitely can't be Jodeci. Hell, he created Jodeci. That, you know what I'm saying? There we go. Like, well, what's going to make you all be the #1 group in the world? And that means you got to have something that stands out. He said, in your situation, you have a clear X factor. And then, of course, he turns around and looks at me. Now, man, at this time, I'm looking like me, and he was like, it's easy to see it. Yeah. So great thing about my situation was I caught on to records very, very quickly. So I knew who I was based off of being in church. Sure. Based off of it. I know I have a very untraditional voice.
Distinct, yeah.
So I get it, but I had to learn how to do it. My mom's an evangelist. She didn't care what my voice. She was like, "Hey, you're gonna get up here, and I want to feel it.
That's
You're
right.
not just gonna get up there. I want to feel it.
That's right. Let the spirit move you.
Let the spirit move you, right?
Yeah.
So, got a chance to get there to New York. Got a chance to, jump on the record. So, I think when it wasn't like if 112, everybody sang.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You see the first single, Only You. I mean, I got to the B part. You know what I'm saying? I was the B part. I didn't sing verses. It was just that my voice stood out, and the part that I wrote, it stood out. You know what I'm saying? And then from there, Puff had just basically said, hey, look, your voice is standing out so crazy to where now all the radio stations and everybody in the world is looking for this particular sound.
No question.
So if I don't hear that voice, we don't really identify 112. That's what it is. So that's why the second and third.
How did the group members feel about that at that time?
Not too happy.
I could imagine. I mean, I've had experiences in groups, and a lot of times in groups, let's just use Boyz II Men for example. They all were lead singers also in their own right, but they all had a different sound. But they found a way to kind of give each one. It seemed like every song, each one had a part. Right, Nate started the song off. Right, Sean would come in, bring it to the climax, and then Wanye brings it home. Right,
right.
And Mike was the bass in the original group, so that wasn't necessarily a lead, but he had the talking part. So you expecting all these factors.
Right.
With you guys, so all you guys are incredible singers, all of you. So then Puff's like, Slim is you. I need you to be the signature. What was like? I mean, I know you're dealing with different personalities in the group. How did that make everyone feel? And how were they able? Were you guys able to adapt and just because you guys had a successful career? How were you able to adjust from that at the very beginning?
Try your best to split the personal situations in the group versus the business side. You you know, I dealt with a lot of jealousies and that and crazy, you know what I'm saying, and whatever the tensions were.
Sure.
But, you know what I mean, I guess me with my tough skin is just like, don't mean nothing when you get into the booth. I go ahead and be slim.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's my bubble.
I'm just doing me.
You know what I'm saying? I'm doing me and I'm me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And those records that you're hearing, it's me. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, okay, well, no matter how you feel, the songs, even though yes, 112, no, 4 lead singers or whatever, just my voice pays the bills. So it doesn't matter. Second single, I sung the whole joint.
Second single is Cupid.
No. Second single was Come See Me.
Come see. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
okay.
It goes platinum.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? Then here comes Cupid.
Yeah.
Sing the whole thing.
For sure.
Goes triple platinum.
Yeah.
Makes the album go triple platinum.
That album, bro, I'm going to tell you.
That's why I say, like, but the album in itself, I have to give, like, great, like, we had some amazing producers, you know what I'm saying? Like, of course, we definitely had a person that was in the group that was producing, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But the real sound that really came from, I had to give big shouts out to Tim and Bob. That's where all of the sounds and the harmonies and how everything, the textures and stuff like that.
I did not realize that Tim and Bob was a part of that.
Good Lord. That's why I said, like, they were definitely instrumental in, like, the texture and the whole template of how 112 was looking at songs.
Yeah.
So even when we were writing, we will always have that same equation of how we would write the songs, how the backgrounds would sound. And then, you know, as we started getting into our projects, we start learning what textures were. So if you notice, songs did not sound the same.
Right.
So only you don't sound like this and this person, that song, they don't sound. So for us, that was like, yeah, so you know.
What song it was? Can I touch you?
Yeah, see, here we go.
That record, I used to have it on my voicemail, right? When the girls would call, I'm like, that song would play in the background. I'm like, yo, this is Ian on the phone. What's up, man?
And you know that's crazy because that was a Boys II Men record. Here we go. Yeah, you have Wanye and Sean actually coming and messing with us, and coming in, helping us write, put together the stuff. And that's how the sounds, that's what I'm saying.
Wow.
Like, so big shots out to it. That's why I say I will talk about Boys II Men straight up.
Yeah.
We were blessed to be able to say we were working with Boys II Men at the height and while we were still in high school.
Wow.
They didn't have to do that. They actually, it was the things that y'all don't know what was being said. Like, I'm going to always remember Wanye and Sean when I would have certain insecurities of, because my voice didn't sound, and then they were like, get out of that.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, like, you know, your voice is amazing. I need you to do it. You know, I need you to be you. You hear those runs, you could do the same thing, you know what I mean? But do it your way.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the things I grew up on, you know what I'm saying, grew up musically on, I owe them. You know what I'm saying? Wow. Like, I always have that in the back of my mind. So.
Wow. Man, shout out to them. Boys, look, I really, really, like, there's no other group in history that has influenced me personally more as a singer, as a musician, than Boys II Men.
Yeah.
Commission and Winans are right there too to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But in terms of like the mainstream feel, I was in junior high when Boys II Men was coming out. I was, I think I was maybe in 6th, 7th grade. Same thing, singing in talent shows, singing Boys II Men records.
Yeah.
That's big shout out to Wanye and Sean, because at that time they were larger than life.
Yes, they were larger.
And so people need to understand, like, back in them days, like specifically at the beginning of 112, Boys II Men was the biggest group in the world.
Yeah, they were already at 100 million records sold.
That's crazy.
So that's why, like, you know, if you're looking at something, you're looking, like, you're trying to make it somewhere. It's like, wow, you know, you go to South Philly, we felt like we knew exactly how that felt.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? It felt like our hood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So for them to be different from the environment, like me, I always had this thing of life is bigger than your community.
Mm-hmm. Oh, for sure.
So it's just like to see that there was a light at the end of the tunnel, like,
nice.
in my way, like, personally.
Nice. We're gonna move past that album, but before we do that, I know you heard this, and I just got to hear you say. I got to hear what you think about this. Tank came out a couple months ago, last month I think it is, talking like he is the king of the interlude, right? You know, and undoubtedly Tank has some amazing interludes, right? He's undoubtedly, and I love Tank. I'm a big fan. Yeah. Amazing interludes, but I'm sorry, nobody. I don't care. Boys to Men, Jodeci has some dope interludes. Drew Hill has some dope interludes. No one had better interludes in my view, in my personal opinion, than 112. I want to hear your point. What you got to say about that? Yo, what's up? It's your boy Ian Vaughn. Look, I need y'all to subscribe. I need you to click the button right below. I need the support. Can we talk R&B? If you want to see more content like this, subscribe.
Well, first off, it wouldn't be Tank if he did not speak.
Of course.
I'm telling you, because first off, he's a wolf. That is our R&B wolf.
No question.
So at the end of the day, if hearing him being quiet would have been I would have been like, that's why.
And look, he has so many dope
because he has
I understand
amazing
him.
records, and that's why I'm saying we understand. I understand who he is, and especially as a songwriter, I know who he is.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that being said, you know what I'm saying. I mean, I basically said what I wanted to say on his page. And then the people that was on his page, they definitely let him know where, you had definitely similar feelings.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? And at the end of the day, I love it. Because you know what I'm saying? R&B has the same type of competitiveness as any other genre of music. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
And that's the reason why he's still raw and still at his situation.
Absolutely.
Like that conversation stemmed from I guess there was it was like a competition. They put everybody in there. So you had to think they put we talking about Fave.
That's right.
Mary J. Blige, Jodeci. But they put everybody in there, and of course we kept winning over and over.
That's right. That's right. I mean,
so it's a blessing on that end. So of course, because I think whoever, that's the fans. You know what I mean? So if his songs weren't in the conversation, I'm pretty sure if his songs were in the conversation, he would definitely be on the list,
Yeah, for sure.
And so I think that, for what I was looking at the list, I think that they, he was still young. So that's the only reason why he wasn't there. Because he's very talented, and I'm pretty sure he's definitely one of the best.
I'm asking that because you guys had every album it was intentional. It seemed like that you guys were doing these interludes.
Oh yeah,
you can make it. You guys could have an interlude album.
Oh yeah, we were definitely it was very intentional.
Whose idea was that? Why was that?
All of ours. Because at the end of the day, it was just like, look at the people we looked up to.
Yeah.
You have the similar ears I do.
That's
so
right.
This is how we came up. And all of them were the same way. Even if you look at A Spirit of David.
Oh my God.
You hear that interlude?
What?
You hear those two interludes? Good Lord.
Just so y'all know, Spirit of David, that's Fred Hammond.
Yeah, here we go.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So
and
here we go.
Christ.
So now, we're coming right after Faith.
Tough.
You hear those
Come on, all you hear is
you were saying here we go. You can kind of tell where
Faith Evans Clark.
Yeah, you feel me? Because they are one and the same, almost one and the same.
Right.
So it's we thrived on it. Just if we heard we did something and it was a splash, and we made you be like, man, why did y'all make that into a record?
That's me, man. We used to be so bad. You are the only one. Man, why didn't they keep doing that? You know what I'm saying? Come on, man.
Yeah, and we wanted to make you feel like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh my God, you could have made that into an interlude.
Look, we said it here first. 112, the king of the interlude. All right, we'll move past that. After the first album, obviously you guys have had so much success, album after album. With Bad Boy being the, at that time specifically, I believe was like the perennial record label. Right. Specifically, other ones were big with hip hop.
Right.
Bad Boy had hip hop, and R&B.
Yes.
I mean, 112, Total, Faith Evans, Carl Thomas, and I mean, like really making really, really classic, incredible R&B music.
Yeah.
Like, talk a little bit more about the influence that Puff had on not just on you guys, but just his whole vision for R&B at that time.
Oh yeah. So the best thing, you know, first of all, anybody knows Puff, he's a visionary. So he kind of already sees you, who you are before you're already there. He's trying to make sure that you're getting there. Now, the best move that he did, what makes him more of a genius, is the fact that he allowed us to be ourselves. So he didn't bother us. When we were doing the music and stuff like that, he would come in splashes and make sure that we were still like doing what we're doing. But, you know, for the most part, he saw that, you know, he knew who we were signing.
Yeah.
He knew that the artists that he had, you didn't have to babysit them. We were writing and producing our own records.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So it was, and then the bigger fact of us being who we are, and then it was a big family. So we were always around Faith all the time. You know what I'm saying? And Big, you know, like that. We were always around them.
Yeah.
And musically, Faith, while she was doing her album, we were there.
Right.
So we would pick up a lot of stuff off of what she was doing. She would be like, hey, I need y'all to come in here. Help me write this part. She didn't really need our help.
Of course.
But you know what I'm saying? But she was
adding
doing
that flavor.
And it was adding situations. And that's what made 112 unique. While we were trying to hone in our skills, we were writing for other artists. So we get a chance to write for like New Edition or Pink or
Nice.
you know what I'm saying, Isley Brothers. You know, we're literally saying, okay, we know who we are. Now let's sprinkle our sound and what our fingerprints, you know, what we want music to feel like. So start doing that. Then here we go. Start working to the second album. Everybody was saying, oh man, all these records were multi-platinum. The album's multi-platinum. You know what they're screaming? Sophomore jinx.
Sophomore jinx, yeah.
Because they're saying it's no way that, you know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the best, you know what I'm saying,
doubt.
debuts of, you know.
One of the best debuts ever, for sure.
Yeah. So we're definitely blessed to get back in our bag. And at that time, you know, I'm going to give a big shout out to Poo Bear, Jason Poo Bear Boyd.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Big shout out.
At this point, here we go. He's like
young Pooh
12. Yeah. This
yeah.
young Poo Bear. So people didn't know, but we knew he's also, so it's funny. We're here. Tri-Cities High School is right here. So him, Kenan Thompson, they're all classmates.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying? I've seen them when they were little.
Yeah.
So he was in a group called Friction.
Okay.
So we knew he was very talented. You know what I'm saying? I took a real big liking to him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because every time he gets emotional, he could put words together, but he would say it. I'm looking at him like, he realize what he's saying?
Wow.
So he was very, very talented at 12. You know what I'm
Great.
saying? So as time started going in, we started working on the project. It takes us a while. So, you know, 96.
Right.
Next album drops in 99. So it took we're on the road. We take him with us.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So while he's out of school, we'll take him, bring him into New York or bring him wherever, you know, our first tour was with the Isley Brothers. We would have them.
That's
you know
fantastic. Wow.
So the sounds and stuff started changing. You know, of course, 112 had a different route. We wanted to not be so goody-goody. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we did have the formula of like the Motown feel, you know what I'm saying? You'll see us in jerseys, you'll see us in suits. You know what I'm saying? And that's what we wanted. Mission accomplished, right?
Sure.
So now we wanted people to understand, okay, we're growing up. So we're going to talk about some things that, I know we were presented in a way we could have been on Nickelodeon. You know what I'm saying?
If they'd have spent it that way.
It just spent it that way. But our real life, I'm in the hood.
Yeah, right,
You know what I'm
right,
saying?
right.
And
you want to be
with
true to
me-
yourself.
Yeah, I wouldn't be. Yeah, I was a father at that point.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, I was already having kids.
Yeah.
So you know, I'm like, okay, I'm some of the stuff I'm gonna write.
That's from after that. After we're done, look at
now we're done. So
yeah.
So those, you know, getting together, coming up with the sounds, Pooh Bear and them, and working with Now I can front. Here comes Stevie J and Mario Winans, and they're making their presence.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So playing with different sounds and stuff like that. I know there was an argument online about which album they thought it was the better, second or third. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, that was a wild one.
What
But
are
you
your
know what I'm
thoughts?
saying?
No, what are your thoughts? I literally was gonna say.
Here we go. I'm gonna hear
I was just gonna say the first album is what it is, fantastic.
right.
That second album trumped it because it was just like it had the sounds were different. It was a new polish. It was a new this. It was just newer. I remember how impactful. I remember coming from the first album to the second album, and sonically like, man, I'm having eargasms because of the chord changes. It was fantastic musically on the first album too, but this one now, the way the beats are popping, it just had this other snap to it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So that probably it's probably my favorite one. But that third one was right there too. So I'm just curious.
It's definitely aggressive. I remember the mindset what we were trying to do. You know, we definitely didn't want it to feel like the first album. We wanted a progression. Mm-hmm. So some of the beats, now mind you, still in the form, true form, Bad Boy. Mm-hmm. You're taking beats from the '80s. You know what I'm saying? And you know, we're picking certain beats, but they don't have to be hip hop.
Right.
There were a lot of records that we were touching that was pop.
I know what song you're talking about.
But you know that's a rock group. So here we go. Like we were just taking certain sounds and just put them in the forefront. I just remember like just like some of those sounds and stuff that we were like using and we just wanted to be ourselves, the truest forms of 112, right?
For sure.
And so the first song comes out, it was screaming at us like Love Me record, right? Here we go. You hear immediately, everybody knows when you hear a Luther Vandross record, you know what I'm saying? It feels a certain kind of a way, right?
That's right.
So now everybody know, like, you know, culture wise, you know, 112, it was about how we dressed. You knew what time it was. You know, we wear the Jordans that were popping right then and there, so you would see, like, okay, so you know what year that came out, or a particular jersey or something like that. You knew. So we were doing everything. It was all
intentional
culture.
with the structure.
Right?
Structure the culture.
So now it's like, okay, you have this record here. You know, we wanted it to be where everybody embraces us. You know what I'm saying? And then how it was filmed, where everyone is like in the tip-top shape. Everything is crispy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It almost looked like a movie, right?
Yeah.
So that's pretty much where it was, that first record, right? Mission accomplished. Platinum record, love me. Boom. Then here comes Anywhere. Anywhere was basically what we were saying. It changed the whole thing. Now I'm gonna tell you, to keep it 1,000. They were not with it at first. So you know
The label you talking?
No, not the label.
Oh.
Puff. If you saw it goes. We trended on that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, somebody leaked the
Okay.
actual joint and how Puff was going absolutely, but not. You know, he was going bonkers.
Yeah.
Because what I want everybody to understand was that nobody was feeding us the records. 112 was creating those records.
Right.
Like we were writing and producing and putting it all together and then present it to the record label.
Sure.
Right.
Right.
So for the most part, because that was a lot of times Puff was sprinkling. You know, we worked with Eric Chambers, you know what I'm saying? People like, you know, like, and he would be like, hey, I think this would be a good look for you all to touch with this art, you know what I'm saying, this producer, and to see how it feels. And of course, working with Diane Warren was crazy.
Come on.
So, you know what I'm saying? So here we go. Like, we just want to say, here comes Anywhere. And at first, like I said, you know, we pushed it. So if you look at it, it looked like a strip club, but we made it white.
Yeah.
So it's nice and clean. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And me, I was playing around with my physical life because you got my mom. My mom's evangelist. So you see this video.
Well, I'm about to go get this anointed oil for you.
She was like, come on in the room, son.
Yeah.
Tell me who wrote this part right here. Okay. And I'm like, no. Mike did that. But you know, yeah. But on my part, she know if I sang it. And that's why I said if anybody want to know, if Slim is singing it,
You probably
not
wrote
even
that.
I wrote it.
Gotcha.
So now I'm getting my ass whooped, basically.
Nah.
So here we go. But in the video, while everybody was having a field day in that joint,
Yeah.
y'all see me in a whole long coat, turtleneck.
Trying to be
I never
polished.
forget this.
Now
Hey,
I gotta
man.
go back and watch the video now. With the inside info.
X, man, he was tripping over. He was like, man, come on, man. Everybody.
Yeah, we
I was like,
wildin'.
man, let me tell you something.
Yeah, my mom ain't playing.
I'll tell you,
I gotta go home.
Let them have it.
Yeah,
Let them
yeah.
have it. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it worked out great. And of course, your letter, I'm always gonna be in awe of Diane Warren because once again, she should remember we had a nice conversation.
Yeah.
And she told me I reminded her of El DeBarge. Anybody knows she wrote Rhythm of the Night.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's
and
right.
then she was just like, hey, you're real special. Like, you know what I'm saying? And you're going to come to terms with it. Like, she right now, she said, you're so
You still trying to
homeboy.
figure it
You're
out,
trying to figure
right.
it out. She was like, you're actually more special than what you know.
And she's goated.
She
is goated.
holy. So, you know what I mean? So,
Diane Warren, shout out. Big shout out to Diane Warren.
Diane Warren.
Man.
So, put it all together. We got a chance to work with everybody. Even we got a chance to work with 8 Ball MJG.
Come
So
on.
let me tell you, that was
Come
crazy.
on.
I know, you know.
I'm from the South. I get it.
So
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. What?
At that time, you know what I'm
What?
saying? Man, I was sneaking, man, coming out hard.
I'll
What?
be your ride if you step
Oh
outside.
my God, man, Space Age Pippin. Oh my
Come
Lord.
on.
But those my homies now, you know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Big
yeah,
shouts to
yeah.
them and Big Do and you know what I'm saying? Oh,
Man, big
but-
shout out to Suave House.
Suave House, holy.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Man. Yeah, it was them and, you know what I'm saying, rap a lot. You know what I'm saying? So,
I believe Suave was A-Ball MJG
Yeah.
soon after ended up signing with Bad Boy
yeah, they
during
did.
that time.
Yes, it ended up, you know what I'm saying? But I felt, I ain't in front, we feel kind of responsible. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Puff, you know what I'm saying? I don't think Puff really
Knew what was going on.
You know what I'm saying?
Right,
That's
right.
a South move. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
right.
So you put all of those the gumbo
Mm-hmm.
of amazing types of records and stuff like that, and then there's Room 112,
Yeah.
and then of course the interludes got to be right.
Out of
It
here.
feels a certain kind of way.
Out of here, brother.
Yeah.
So at that time, I remember this. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, Old Town, I believe, was coming. It was another 98 Degrees. These pop groups were singing R&B records, but just in their way.
Right.
And they were some of now becoming the biggest things in the world, right? 112 is already established, but you guys are now having to compete.
Against right. So
With-
here we go. And what's crazy is that I just talked to one of the guys from 98 Degrees, and that it's crazy because they looked up to us.
Right, exactly.
That was
It's
wild.
very
I was like,
clear.
oh wow,
It's very clear.
So we did have a great relationship with all those guys.
Okay.
And we would play ball with them and do whatever. You know what I'm saying? And I never forget. And this is going into the third project when NSYNC came. NSYNC came to Atlanta, and of course, everybody know Justin plays basketball explosively well, right?
I did not know
he-
that.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. He's make you
Okay.
question like, okay, I get where the South is with him.
Yeah. He from Tennessee. you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So
Memphis.
yeah, we're basically we're putting on our clothes, getting ready. These guys start singing "Now That We're Done" right there,
Wow.
right there in front, like. I'm looking at them like, good look. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like these guys, they're not like cloned out here. These guys,
come from the real pedigree.
It's a real pedigree with them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you can kind of tell. So it's like, all right, well, what makes 112? Because that's what with us. Each time we will always push ourselves. Okay, yeah, we did this. So I guess no more sophomore jinx, huh? But then what?
Got a junior.
We gotta look at these groups. Why can't we sell like them?
Right.
What are they doing that we're not doing? So then one thing was very evident. Man, you come to one of their shows, which we went. They're coming out of the sky. Dudes coming out of the joints, dancing. You know what I'm saying? They're looking like this.
We got to step it up.
Well, New Edition taught us how, you know what I'm saying?
That's
like,
right.
you know what I mean? It taught us why we were raised, how how to perform.
That's
you know
right.
what I'm saying? So we were like, shoot, we're good for the goose. So what we did was we took all the monies that we had and we invested in ourselves into teaching ourselves how to dance.
Wow.
Yeah.
You know what? I never thought about that. And you saying this again. I always been a big fan, so I know y'all's story for the most part, but I don't know it from the horse's mouth, right?
Right.
No pun. But so the first album, y'all wasn't really dancing like that.
Right.
And I'm just now looking at in my mind, just went back to the videos. I'm like, you know, y'all was swagging.
It was swag,
but y'all wasn't
and
really
then on the hook.
Yeah,
we did the same thing.
step.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. But it wasn't like
But it wasn't
choreography like that.
choreographed out. That's why when you start seeing like the third album come out, I think no. First song, It's Over Now. Jump off the porch. Like, here we go. So now you're showing that we can dance all together. All of us, we rocking together. So that's when we start feeling like, you know what? We don't want no weak links. You know what I'm saying? Hey, you got 4 lead singers. You know what I mean? I know who I am or whatever, but we got 4 lead singers here.
Right.
And then you got, have an amazing, we're going on these amazing tours. First joint we came out with the Isley Brothers. Then, then we, I think it was Keith Sweat and them. And then we went on tour with Whitney Houston and Janet Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Then, New Edition.
Yeah.
So we're learning, picking up stuff from everyone.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we were like, what's next? What can we do that's going to make us better? You know what I'm saying? And push us to the upper echelons with these guys over here. We don't see color.
Right.
We see air and opportunity.
Sure.
So here we go. And then that's when we start actually doing shows with them.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
nice.
So then they can see it. So that I remember seeing 98 Degrees and they were like, man, these boys are bad. You know what I'm saying? They bad.
Yeah.
So,
I was just gonna ask, like you guys. Well, I know you just got back from London, doing some a festival out there. Back at that time, at the height of R&B music, at the height of you guys' career, what was the difference between performing in the States versus performing overseas?
Ooh, well, the States they're very spoiled.
Yeah.
So they're definitely single driven. You know what I'm saying?
What's hot right now?
What's hot, right? So here we go. The first time we went over to London, Europe, it went outside the United States.
Sure.
There's road manager there.
Okay.
We were all kids there.
Yeah.
He had hair.
Okay.
Now here we go. Now he brought us over. He brought us and Destiny Child over, right? So
What year is this?
This was 96.
Okay.
Yeah, 97, 96. So he brought us and Destiny Child over there, right? So at the time, we didn't know what to expect. I never forget. Like I can still remember my mind. I can still remember. It was Christmas. It was around the Christmas holidays, and it's colder over there. Good Lord.
Yeah.
And didn't know what to expect. First show, they sat there. They knew the hits.
Yeah.
But they
knew the album cuts.
They were quiet. They weren't like the United States, like where the people would be like, oh, they're. And now you got to perform.
Now you got to perform.
You got to perform. This is the first time they're really hearing us. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it was kind of crazy. But they love the album cuts. They love what makes the group.
Right.
What makes me buy the album?
That's right.
Of course, we hear what's on the radio. We get all of that. We'll go to 10 Westwood, and you know what I'm saying? We'll pack the whole place out. Thousands of kids will be out there, for that single. But what they want to know is, who is 112? What do you stand for? They might want to know who you are religiously wise.
Sure.
What do you think of the world today? You know what I'm saying? What's going on in the government right now? You know what I'm saying? For me, I'm a nerd. So
Yeah.
that was beautiful for me.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? So we understood, like, when we did the show, you can't just give them the singles. You had to actually show who you are. So we used to have breakdowns, I would sing Babyface. One would sing Brian McKnight. Mike would sing Donny Hathaway. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
Then we'd come all together. We might sing Boyz II Men or we'll sing something crazy.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
And they would be like, oh, we get y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all are the group that loves the background harmonies and stuff, but then know how everybody know how to sing,
That's
and
right.
you all know pretty much everything. You know what I'm
Because
saying?
y'all harmonies was special, bro.
I appreciate it.
Y'all harmonies was special. Like everybody, I mean, all groups sing harmony, but you have a lot of groups, 4 members singing 3-part harmony. You have a lot of, and then you have, but y'all sang 4-part, and it seemed like it's 4-part, but some of the chords were so close that it felt like 5.
Here we go. Say there we go.
This is a musician talking.
That's that. You know what I'm
You know what I'm saying?
So here's the commission feel.
Exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So like we know.
Absolutely.
And you know what I'm saying? Take 6 and how they will play
That's
with
right.
certain things, and then have certain word lines go in, but it's still sonically like with the the backgrounds and the harmonies are all together.
Right. One
But just
melody
saying-
may be going from, let's just use traditional terms, soprano, alto, tenor. That tenor note may jump up to the soprano note on the part, jump back to the alto note, jump back down to the tenor,
first and second
vice versa.
altos
And
are-
they all,
there you go.
come
You
on,
might say,
come
"Oh,
on,
this is it," you feel
Slim.
me?
Come on, Slim.
That
We
was
talking that talk.
That's people. If you're musically, y'all know
You can
it,
hear it.
You know what I'm
Those
talking
are the
about.
special things. I'm a big fan of Jagged Edge
Yeah.
as well. But when you guys did the verses, I'm a big fan of Jagged Edge. I love the music, so I don't want the verses to be like one against the other.
No.
Because I know y'all are close
'Cause
friends.
we're
Y'all-
brothers. Yeah,
Absolutely,
yeah.
absolutely. And I love
yeah.
their sound because they also had a unique sound.
And here we go. The great thing about it is that we all knew each other before deals.
Of course.
So the same guy that, put us in position, also when we were practicing, they would be in the other room practicing.
Right, gotcha.
We knew.
Gotcha.
So we know who they are. Jagged Edge is a great name for them because
For
they're
sure.
like jagged, you know what I'm saying? But then
yeah.
they're confined. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? So some of the words that they'll say, it'll be beautiful. Like those twin, Brandon and Brian, Pennywise is probably
here.
one of the most elite writers, you know what I'm saying?
Agreed.
And so a lot of times when they say something, they'll say it so
Passionately.
and it's almost like, but they're gonna say it like a hood,
Yeah,
hood
they
part,
say,
like,
yeah.
So sometimes you might even not even agree with what he said. Hey, we ain't getting no younger, so we might as well do it.
Come
now,
on.
some girl might say, we ain't getting what you mean, but because Jagged Edge said it,
Yeah.
like, you know what, we ain't getting no younger, so we might. as well do it. You know what I'm
But
saying?
it's just layman's terms. Like, look, this is what it is.
This is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But they were
but
incredible.
As far as harmony, we wanted. That's what I'm saying. We were trying to establish ourselves from
The other groups.
power juggernaut like Jagged Edge.
Absolutely.
What makes us different from them? They're from the same area. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, like, yes, all of our power came through the harmonies first.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? And then you take the voices and then use them as like instruments.
So let me ask you this. We thinking about the 90s, the early 2000s, all these epic groups.
Mm-hmm.
Will the group come back? 112, y'all been out almost 30 years. Y'all been, y'all legends in the game.
Right.
You have other groups, Drew Hill, Jagged Edge, still, these all obviously
Next.
Boyz II Men and Jodeci are still out there touring.
Mm-hmm.
Can you see that coming back? And for the new generation, some new groups, like, do you see that? I'm sure a lot of artists are reaching out to you for advice.
Yes.
Like, are you seeing that?
Well, see that the mindset has to be changed. The culture now is like everybody's for self. So one thing, the power, the magic in being in a group is that you're not only just thinking about yourself, you're thinking about the person standing to the left and the right of you.
Right.
If you're caring about that person from the left of you, right, or the right of you, just as much as you care for yourself, then the group comes back. But look at the culture, what's going on now.
Yeah.
Everything is like, nobody wants to share. Nobody wants to make that sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? For the betterment of the culture. So, yeah. But can it happen? Yes. When the mindset changes, then, yeah, it comes back.
So I want to ask this, and I don't know if this is a sensitive topic or not, but I have to ask. What happened to you guys as the original core. I mean, I know you and Mike are still touring and still performing and just put out new music. It was just super dope. And Mike is one of the dudes that people like. I'm like, Mike been singing on every project, killing it from the beginning. Y'all just didn't know whose voice was which.
First and foremost, let's give Mike his flowers. He's the founder of the group.
Wow.
He created the group.
Oh, wow.
That's why I have this wild, uncanny loyalty to him.
Wow. Never knew that.
He had the ear of, like, so when I auditioned for the group in Forte, you know, of course I shocked a lot of people because I was never in chorus. I was never, you know what I'm saying? So, so once I sang the song, you know, I sung, it was a Take 6 record. And you know what I'm saying? And then as soon as everybody was like, oh, man. Then Mike just looked at me with a straight face like, yeah, that's cool. All right, so, rehearsals at my grandma's house.
Yeah, gotcha.
So where's grandma's house? Oh, yeah, I'll get with you on it.
Yeah, oh, nice.
So
never knew that.
Mike was always like that.
First of all, Mike is hilarious. I follow him on social.
Well,
that dude is crazy, bro.
Do not let him get y'all in trouble, people.
That dude is crazy.
I'm gonna tell you right now, you know, a lot of stuff that happened with me, if I got in trouble, Mike is probably 95% of the reason. We've had some wild situations that that's why I said, like, the founder of it and the ear. You know what I'm saying? Like,
watch out a little bit.
Oh, yeah. But he's always been like that.
So
people don't understand. Like,
bro, so funny.
So now it's like with us now, you know, it's the same thing that happened with most iconic groups.
Yeah,
I'm almost questioning if you don't go through a split up or something, whatever, that I don't know if you've been iconic. Name me a group that I don't know.
They didn't go through
it. They didn't, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that goes on all genres.
Sure, for sure.
And like I said, I read all of them.
Is there a chance to have all four of you guys, original members, put another album out, get back together, do a show, do a tour? Is there a chance for that?
No. Well, I would just say, as far as I always believe in moments, right?
Yeah.
So while that moment is happening, enjoy that moment.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, I don't question God at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? And I will always say that, you know, each person is where they want to be.
Yeah. Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me when I tell you. Like,
yeah.
It's not, you know, I'm not strong enough. I'm not strong enough to throw anybody out of any.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like, so any action that you've seen is what they wanted to do.
Gotcha.
So whatever that situation is, Mike and I decided that, you know, instead of just going off to our houses in the islands or somewhere, we said, hey, we want to finish the
continue the legacy.
You just got to finish that legacy because we always had a plan. So what people don't understand, you know, before y'all seen all this existed in Mike's grandma's crib, when we used to sit there and watch the awards together as Forte.
Yeah.
Certain those guys weren't in the group. But the guys that they know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. You're looking at the television and we're watching our favorite groups accept the awards, and then we'll be like, man, what would you say if that was, you know? And then and then we'll be like, we're not stopping until we get that. And now the only thing we're missing is the star in the Walk of Fame and the induction in, you know what I'm saying, in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Wow.
I don't see nothing else I don't hear nothing else. I got blockers.
Gotcha.
That's what I want. And you know what I'm saying? I want it with 112.
Yeah.
However it may come.
Gotcha.
So.
Well, I can tell you, man, you've been an extreme influence on me and significant in the culture, for sure. I don't know anybody who don't love 112. That's just me personally. So with that said, man, thank you for blessing the stage, having a conversation with me.
Thank you.
Look, this is an ongoing conversation.
Yes, sir.
Can we talk R&B? Thank you guys for tuning in. Slim in the house.
No doubt. 112 forever.
Can we talk? Oh, can we talk?